All right. What's up, everybody? Team training March 19th, 2020. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Jason Adams, part of your mentorship team. I see a couple new faces on here, so welcome to the family. Hi, Nicole. I see you waving. Welcome. Hooray. I only see a few people across my screen here, so I just see Nicole Norden or Nordine. I'm not sure which one it is, but so it's one of those. I got a yes, so it's one of those.
It's
So welcome.
it's Norden. I
Okay,
had to
Norden.
unmute. I'm learning.
You got it. Well, welcome. You know what? While you are here, let me unmute you. Maybe I can't unmute you. There we go. So when did you sign up to become a coach?
2 weeks ago, probably about
Okay,
4 weeks into my journey, I signed up as a coach.
nice. I was 5 weeks. So
I beat
yeah,
you. I win.
yeah, that's all right. Winner, winner. Who's
Yes.
your coach?
Heather Hornowski.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. And
Thank you.
we're excited that you're here. So
Me too.
tonight will be good. Tonight will be good for future preparation.
Yeah, we need that.
All right. So tonight I wanted to talk about your non-negotiables, some of your rocks that we can do as coaches every day. First, I just want to kind of go over a couple things. The business momentum obviously has been canceled, but they're doing it online. So definitely check your email if you haven't registered for that. I just registered for the no refund, but you could offer it to 2 people, but it wasn't very clear if I could actually still go or not. So I got to email out to make sure, like, because I want to also attend for it. But if you haven't checked your email and you had already bought for that, or if you were qualified for it, maybe you couldn't make the trip, but you could do the online. I think you should be able to register for it now too. So that's pretty cool. So that's going on. And then obviously with everything with the coronavirus, Optavia has put out a couple things about that, and we are in good hands and good standing, and don't have a whole lot to worry from the logistics end of Optavia as far as that. There's plenty of fuelings. The only thing would be call times, but we've had to deal with that before. So, just work with your clients and make sure they understand that, which I think everybody should understand. But also, if they call during the day, they probably have a better chance of getting through than if people are calling after work. So there we have that. And then the other little piece of business, I was talking to some of the leaders on the team, and we were talking about maybe bringing back Thursday night community night. And so we used to do that when we started 5 years ago, and it was a pretty powerful thing. And then some things got shifted around, and we were doing it with Dan for a little while. First we started with Doug, and then we're doing it with Dan for a little while. And Crystal remembers those, the Thursday night community nights. And so we thought we were just on a Zoom this week, and they kind of talked about something similar. And I was like, we should really bring those back. So basically what it is we're going to decide which day will work, and we're going to just have kind of a Zoom and kind of just have like a community Zoom and celebrate some clients and have them share a little bit about their journey. It's just a great way to integrate the community, integrate your clients. But as always, we want to really help pay all of Optavia forward, not just the health side. Healthy finances, healthy mind. So this is a great way to also invite some coach potentials and maybe open up their eyes and give them a chance to shine. And that's really what it is. It's just a chance for people to shine, for people to tell their story, share their story, and all of us hop on and cheer them on. So if you see that, please join us for those. Please cheer on the clients. If you have clients that are rocking it, obviously get their name in the hat, and we can have a quick celebration of their story. And these will be, probably like 15, 20-minute calls. They don't have to be super long, but just something to really maybe take that next level and really create some more community, especially with everything that's going on right now. All right. So what I wanted to kind of talk about tonight, I've had a couple Zooms with some coaches, and we've just kind of been talking about like where they're at in their journey and kind of like the question I've been asking is like, at the end of 2020, like, where do you want to be? Where do you want your business to be? Where do you want your income to be? And then also start thinking about who you want to be by then. Because to create the momentum that you want in your business, you're going to have to grow. You're going to have to become a different person. And really what happens with that is, you might have heard lead from the future, act in the now, is really deciding like who that person is and how do they show up. So if you say, my name is Integrated Presidential Director Jason Adams, how am I going to show up for people? Is that how I'm showing up right now? Or is that completely different? And posturing that and just showing up as that person and figuring out who that person is, like actually writing down and deciding, saying, okay, if this is who I want to be by the end of 2020 or 2021, whatever it is, or, just a year from now, like, how is that person showing up every single day? And what we want to do with that is figure out what those non-negotiables, like, what are the things that that person would be doing every single day? One, obviously, we need to lead with our health, right? If we're not moving forward, we're eventually moving backwards. I honestly have been kind of caught in that trap a little bit. And so I'm fully back on plan. I'm on day 4. I'm down 6 pounds. And this was after New Orleans, though. So New Orleans did not do me any favors. But I think what was good was that was kind of like the little kick in the butt that I needed, because I was kind of just hanging out. I'd work out, and then I wasn't eating terrible, but I wasn't like fully focused. And so let's just say New Orleans, like, the scale was not friendly. And then that really for me was like, okay, that's what we got to do. And while I'm on that subject, I was going to share this story. I was kind of going back and forth sharing this story, but I feel like I may as well do it because now I'm talking about New Orleans. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, we live in a fifth wheel camper now. And this is by choice. It's not because we're hillbilly or something. Like, listen, when I was 19, I bought a mobile home. That was my first home. So, but this is our camper. You can see this is our bedroom, actually. There's our dog sleeping right there. It's really nice. But Octavia has given us the means to be able to travel the country and do this coaching thing from anywhere. And it's been really great. Like, we're in Florida now. We were in California. We've been through Utah. Anyways, we were in New Orleans last week. And one of the things that we have to do, or I have to do as a camper owner, is drain our black tank. Now, if you don't know what that is, that's basically our sewer tank. I see some people laughing already. So this would be a non-negotiable, right? Yep. So I have kind of a routine that I usually do. And my one goal in our whole trip is to not have a black tank story. Like, everybody has black tank stories. I don't want one. So I'm doing my thing, and I'm like filling up one tank and draining it. And what I do is you can turn the water on, kind of fill it up a little bit, and then drain it. Kind of helps flush stuff out. And so I'm doing that, going back and forth. I just decided to do the back one first and the front one. Terry, I see you laughing already. So I'm sitting there, I'm doing my thing. I was actually listening to a podcast. I think I was listening to like Ray Higdon or something. And then I come up to the front to do the front one. And I was like, what is all this water like draining out the bottom of our camper right now? Just pouring out of the bottom. And I'm like, oh no, what is that? And then I look down and I see that I had left the water on. I thought I turned it off of the front black tank. And so I immediately go running around the front, and then there's some extra water. We had air conditioning on, and there's extra water running off the front of the camper, which I'm like, oh, that's really weird. And then I don't even pay that much attention to it. Then I run inside, and there is, well, just imagine what's all over the floor. Yeah. So it had overflowed the toilet, obviously. and it had flowed up the vent, because in the camper there's an air vent that goes all the way to the top. It had flowed up the air vent and was coming out the top of the camper. And that was what the extra stuff that was draining off was. And obviously I tell this because it's funny now. So we have part of our carpet is ripped up. Pretty much all the smell is gone. So listen, that sucked big time. That did not go as planned. Oh yeah, Eileen was not happy with me whatsoever. I wasn't happy with me. I mean, man, I've done this how many times in the last 6 months? But guess what? It sucked. It didn't go as planned, but it's a non-negotiable. I have to do it again. I will have to do it again and again. And I won't do it that way again. I'm only doing one at one time. Yeah, Heather, I'm sure you have seen for the last 11 years lots of black tank issues. So there's my black tank story, guys. And I decided to share this with you one, because I know you would all laugh at it. And, it's better to laugh together, I guess, than but really, like, it's just one of those things that no matter what happens, it's a non-negotiable, right? I'm committed to having to do that. Nobody's going to come do that for me. And I think sometimes when we look at our journey, we kind of do some things and maybe they don't go as planned, right? You send out a coach video to somebody and they go ghost on you. That client cancels their order. Like, that's all going to happen. But your daily actions, your non-negotiables, are things that are going to take you where you need to go. So what you need to do, though, is, like I was talking about earlier, figuring out who that person is and start writing those non-negotiables down. Like, because I think sometimes we go, oh, the 3, 3, and 3, or, well, first of all, 3, 3, and 3 is not going to get you anywhere. That's going to get you maybe flatline. You got to bump up those conversations. It's got to be at least 10 a day. I mean, everybody can do 10 a day. That doesn't take any time. But figure out what that is for you. And if you're in your journey right now and you're a senior coach or you're a brand new coach, you might not even know what that is. So reach out to your mentorship team. They're going to help you figure that out. But it's really simple. It's connecting with people. It's obviously being on social media, living life out loud. But what I want to suggest to you guys tonight is write those down. Because if you're not doing the actions every single day, all of a sudden you're going to be a year from now, you're not going to be in any different place. You're going to be like, this thing doesn't work. Like, I wasted all the time. No, you didn't do the right work. That's it. Because to get to the place that you want to be, I guarantee you it's not the same work that you're doing right now. And sometimes we're doing busy work. Sometimes we're doing things that just make us feel good, like commenting and posting. Like, that's great. That's not going to get you there. So some non-negotiables every single day. I mean, these are some of mine. Now, my health. I got to keep my health moving forward. Because I didn't get into this to just be okay. Right? I don't think any of us did. Well, most of us got in here because we were like, I just want to lose some weight. I mean, I started a diet, right? But once I learned what it was, I wanted so much more out of it. So, 1, your health. 2, obviously, connections. In person, social media, like, find what your groove is. If you love Facebook, great, use Facebook. If you love Instagram, great, use Instagram. If you love LinkedIn, if that's where your people are, use that. Use what works for you. If you guys have been in the boot camps at all, like Carol Hips, and she loves Facebook. She's rocking Facebook. Find out what you can rock. Find out what fits your personality. What can you do? This isn't one size fits all. Like, you got to figure out how. Some people connect better in person. I remember Tammy, we went to an event and she came up to me one day and she's like, I'm going to get in networking events. I'm like, great. She's like, I'm a beast at networking events. Guess what? She's in BNI and she is being her B self in BNI. And she's rocking it. She's getting people healthy. I know she's going to bring out some coaches from that. Figure out what works for you. For me, honestly, my best way, now this is good and bad when we're traveling. So it depends on where we're at. But my best way is building a relationship in person and bringing it into social media. Like that's what works great for me. And so, like we were in Texas and there's a guy I've been Facebook friends with for like 3.5 years. Kind of tried to talk program with him before, but we went and had coffee. And then I just shot him another message and be like, hey, you know what, man? I know we talked about this for a while. Would you be interested in learning more about our program? He's like, yeah, we haven't gotten a call yet, but it kind of took that next step. So that's for me. Figure out what that works for you. Here you go. Trainings. Do you have to be on every single training? No. Pick one, right? We're all busy. I understand. Not everybody has time. Everybody has kids. But figure out what it is that you're going to put on your list that's non-negotiable. I think this should be non-negotiable. It's only half an hour every couple weeks. Like, you could do that. If your dream is to, help a few friends, if your dream is to make $5,000 a month, I think half an hour every other week is not too much to ask to put into it. I think sometimes we have this big dream and we think if we put 15 minutes in a day that we're really going to knock it out. It takes a little bit more, and depends on what you want. If you just want to be senior coach, maybe 15 minutes a day is enough. If you want to be a global director and making like $10,000 enough, 15 minutes isn't going to be enough. So figure out what that is for you. Personal development. I think this is one of the biggest keys to you, because if you want to grow your business, first you have to start with yourself. And if you're not the person that could handle your business, then you better start working on it. Because what can happen sometimes is your business can outgrow you. And it's like a thermostat. It's always going to come back to where you're set at. So if you're not growing yourself, it's eventually going to catch up. And then the other way, if you're growing yourself and your business is down here, it's going to eventually catch up to you. So you just have to keep that. And these are some things that I think are non-negotiables. Checking in with your mentorship team. You're not supposed to be on an island, right? We didn't get in this and somebody signed you up as coach and was like, all right, I'm looking at Laura. See you later, Laura. Have a good time. I hope you work it out. Plug in and see where you need a little tweak here and there. This is not meant to like beat you up if you're doing something a little different. Just plug in and say, hey, listen, this is what I've been doing. Do you think this is good? And they're going to say, yeah, or this is what I found. Like I like to think of different ideas, and they get shot down a lot. And you know what, that's okay, because I would love to have a business like Dan and Megan Valentine. I would probably not complain about having a business like that. We might even have a nicer camper, so, and have somebody else flush our black tanks for us. I don't know. But anyways, so these are just things that, guys, if you want to build this and you want this to be successful long-term, there's just some things that you're going to have to do every single day. And that doesn't mean they take hours and hours, but it's just something that you're going to have to commit to and say, you know what, come hell or high water, I'm going to get this figured out. If I have to get up half an hour earlier, I have to stay up half an hour later. Maybe I have to skip a lunch hour. I mean, when we built the big part of our business that allowed us to go full time, like I didn't go to lunch with my buddies anymore. I came home and I started working on it. Like I gave up some things so that way I knew later on we could do all the things that we wanted to do. So if anybody wants to hop on real quick and maybe share one of their like non-negotiables, I would love that. And you can kind of, some other people can hear some different perspectives on it. Otherwise, that's what I got tonight.
Okay, I'll just go really quick. I would just say my non-negotiable right now is my own health. And I know that they talk about this all the time. When your health is not doing good, your business isn't doing good, they go hand in hand. Also, I work at a hospital. My health is top right now. Like I have to keep it. I have to keep my immune system up. So My non-negotiable right now is my health. I am 100% 5-1. I'm not even changing that, which I actually decided a few weeks ago. So that's going really good. Down 11, by the way. So, but it's a non-negotiable for me right now. Like, it has to be about my health first. And luckily enough, we get our groceries delivered, so I don't have to worry about going to the stupid grocery store that has nothing. So that helps. So that's just my non-negotiable. Yes, it helps build my business, because me putting my own weight journey on there, even though I'm under an insane amount of stress right now, but staying on it, that's also helping things too. So
Thank you, Crystal. And that's the whole idea. Like, what can you control? Right? You can't control all the other circumstances out there. We can't control coronavirus, unfortunately, but we can control our actions, right? We can decide.
control it a little bit. Stay home.
Well, but that's control, right? You can control that. You can control whether you go out to a bar or whatever, or you stay home. You know, like what we controlled, like we're staying here for another 2 weeks. We were only planning on being here one day, and we were going to our next place. But this place is kind of remote. There's nobody around us. We're like, you know what? We're just going to hunker down here for 2 weeks because we want to kind of see what's going on. And this is a safe place, and there's not a lot of people around. Luckily there's not a lot of kids around too, because then the girls will want to play with them. So, you know, like, what can you control? And that's the same thing like with your non-negotiables. You can control that. You can't control the circumstances. You can't control the outcome. You can't control if, you know, like this client signed up with this person and I already had a share. You can't control that. You can control your actions. You can control your emotions. All right. Anybody else want to share anything?
I'll jump off.
Thanks, Sean.
So one of the things that I, in the beginning, kind of learned to, well, kind of like control thing, is who I allow around me or who I allow in my headspace. So, you know, not just any new coaches or anything, but, you know, there are people that don't understand what we do and they have their own thoughts and feelings, kind of the same thing that we're dealing with in social media right now. As far as everything going on, you know, there's the negative Nancy's, there's the political people, there's whatever. But I had to remove myself from certain people, even family members that were very unsupportive, and surround myself by very positive people, very supportive people, and people who were willing to take my hand and walk with me where I wanted to go. And it's fine that those other people didn't understand. Like for instance, my brother-in-law totally is just somebody I can't have on my Facebook page. I love him dearly, and we're still friends in the real world, but there's just certain places that I know that certain people can't be a part of my life, and social media happens to be one of those places. So there have been people that I've had to step away from, or I have found that Ryan and I maybe have leveled away from, just because of the habits that we had with them, the life that we lived with them, the things that were not conducive to the life that we're trying to build now.
I love that. The boundaries, right? Is like, I still love you, but I can't have you being a part of my life with what's been going on. And that's a boundary. Like, you can still love people and not have them break through there, because we only have so much emotional energy to put out every day, and we can't keep doing that with someone that's not willing to move with us. You know, it's like the boiling pot of water that all the crabs are in. You know, you see the one crab trying to get out, the other ones all try to grab him and pull him back in. It's like, when you start rising up, people that aren't rising up think that, oh, we need to drag you back here, keep you safe, keep you with us. Thanks. That's good. All right. Anybody else want to share? Going once. This is always the awkward. Nobody's talking. Going twice. Okay. That's it. So, actually, I was going to add one last thing. I'll just do one last thing. I was listening to, when we were driving the other day, I was listening to a podcast, and I don't even remember what podcast I was listening to. But it was a guy that was very successful in our type of industry. And he kind of said something that it just really resonated with me. And he's like, why can't we just ask the question? You know, and so for me, I was thinking, like, all the stuff that's going on, all these people, like, not sure what they're doing with work, their health. You know, like we have our conversations, but we kind of try and drop little seeds here and there and see if somebody talks about health. Why don't we just ask the question? Why don't you just say, hey, listen, by the way, I'm a health coach. I help people get healthy. I don't know if you'd be interested or anybody you know, but if you know someone, I'd be honored to help them. We love what we do. We're passionate about it. It's changed my life. You know, we've helped however, you know, like help 5 people, help 100 people, help 1,000 people, whatever it is. And just be a little bit more bold with it. Because I think too, like, Shelly, what you were saying, like people not sure what we do exactly, like put it out there. Let's get it out there. Tammy, you were talking, was it Paul? Right? And you know, she just went up to him and somebody a connection at BNI and was bold. I'm just like, hey, would you like to check this out? You're inspiring. I think you'd be amazing at this. And just ask the question. So I think a lot of our conversations, we go back and forth and like get in the rapport mode, and you could just live for years in the rapport mode. Or you could find a point where you just say, hey, listen, you may not be interested in this all. If you're not, that's totally cool. But I wanted to let you know about it because I'm really passionate about it. I really think it could help change some people's lives. If you'd like to learn about it, let me know. We'll hop on a quick call. And so, if you guys start doing that, if you try to do that, put that in your non-negotiable, try to do that once a day, I bet you your business would totally change in the next 3, 4, 6 months. So, all right, guys, that's what I got. We'll see you later.